We bring you the latest news from the Pna Newsroom. The government sets out a range of measures to ensure safe reopening of classes next month. The details from Stephanie Sevillano.
The Marcos administration is keen on pushing through the resumption of the face-to-face classes amid calls for reconsiderations due to COVID-19 cases uptick. Even the Health Department is backing up the Department of Education's firm stance to address what they call learning loss. For DOH Officer in Charge Maria Rosario Vergere, bringing the vaccination drive closer to learners and teaching and non-teaching personnel would be of great help. Vergere notes that an easier access would encourage parents to let their children avail of the vaccines and booster doses, but this would not be mandatory. She said that they are not planning to withhold children their rights to go to school if they remain unvaccinated, although giving incentives is being considered. Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte earlier said the opening of classes has been already approved by the President, as well as the resumption of the face-to-face classes on November 2.
Pinagkaibahan natin na noon sa ngayon open na ang mga tao na magsuot lagi ng mask and may bakuna at saka may gamot. Ang panawagan po namin doon sa mga pamilya na meron pong high risk na mga individual sa loob ng bahay nila na magpabakuna po sila at magpa-booster na po.
Meanwhile, the DepEd has already formed a task force together with the Department of Transportation to ensure smooth transport setting for the in-person classes. Among the initial recommendations are the deployment of 90 to 100% of public utility vehicles during peak hours, as well as the reopening of the pre-pandemic city bus routes and the free rides on railways. The task force is also looking into hastening the review of fares and non-operational routes. For the Pna Newsroom, I am Stephanie Sevillano.
The National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict is recommending to President Bongbong Marcos the offering of amnesty to stop the resurgence of communist insurgency. The body made this announcement in a briefing today, shortly after holding its first executive meeting. The NTF-ELCAC Executive Committee also reaffirmed the importance of the whole-of-nation approach in tackling the root causes of the armed conflict. It will also commit to implementing and enhancing the NTF-ELCAC's programs, empowering local governments, strengthening partnerships with stakeholders, and ensuring peace and order. It will also provide tailored assistance to former rebels and work towards genuine healing and reconciliation. Asked if the body will also recommend the revival of the peace talks, National Security Advisor Clarita Carlos said this decision is up to the President. Defense Department Officer in Charge Undersecretary Jose Faustino Jr. also stressed the NTF-ELCAC's gains in preserving the peace, noting that these have resulted in a significant decline in the strength, force, and influence of the Communist New People's Army. Presidential Peace Advisor Carlito Galvez Jr. meanwhile cited that localized peace talks continue to reap gains.
Napakalaki na ng idinulot na kabutihan pagdating sa kapayapaan itong na National Task Force ELCAC. Kung mapapansin natin ang mga violent incidents na ginawa ng CPP-NP, NTF ay bumaba. All the parameters ay bumaba kasama ang kanilang strength, ang kanilang firearms, ang mga affected barangays, lalong-lalo na ang mga guerrilla fronts. So ito ay pagpapatuloy natin. Kung meron mang sigurong pagbabago, ito yung pagbabago para mas mapaganda pa o ma-enhance yung mga proseso ng ELCAC.
A gun ban shall be implemented in Metro Manila from July 22 to 27. The Philippine National Police said this is part of their security measure for the first State of the Nation Address or SONA of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Police Major General Valeriano De Leon, Director for Operations of the Philippine National Police, said they are already informing the public this early to avoid any legal trouble. Marcos is scheduled to deliver his SONA on July 25 at the Batasang Pambansa in Quezon City. He is expected to lay down his plans to improve the country's economic condition and the lives of Filipinos. At least 15,000 policemen, soldiers, and other force multipliers from various government agencies will be deployed to secure the event. The provincial government of Misamis Oriental aims to uplift the lives of its residents by focusing on poverty alleviation programs. The details from Vince Bautista of the Philippine Information Agency.
With the new data for the poverty indicator for Misamis Oriental at 22%, newly elected Governor Peter Onabia vows to be at service to the constituents of the province, especially to those who belong to the poor and in need.
I have the compassion for the poor, kaibigan ko rin. And believe me, this is the very reason why na ako in front of you as the governor-elect of this province to really serve those who really need the service from the government.
The governor also stressed that he is not after the position, as he only targets to manage the fund of the provincial government to provide necessary interventions to the marginalized sector. Thus, he urged the workers of the LGU to work with him as a team. Further, the governor asked all the heads of the offices and employees of the capital to support the administration the way they supported the previous administration. For PNA Newsroom, Vince Bautista, Philippine Information Agency, Misamis Oriental.
That's the latest from the PNA Newsroom. Stay tuned for more updates on the biggest stories throughout the day. I'm Marita Muaje. Have a good day.